Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second album review of this album review series I've continued on this channel. I did good numbers in my eyes for the Damn review that I did last time, and today I'm gonna do something that hits more, to me, something that hits more to my liking. It's another TDE artist, but he's a little lesser known. His name is Isaiah Rashad. He's from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this dude I think, is just one of the best, the best underrated rappers. Like he's definitely been on the come up. He's been with TDE for a couple years. He released an EP called Silly Demo, which I thought was one of the best projects of that year. I believe it was 2014, and he finally came out with his proper debut album. And to me, this is of course, in Sylvia Demo, he addressed a lot of stuff that happened in his life, but I feel like this one, he definitely gets a chance to finally tell his story. It almost took 2 years to make this album, actually. I saw an interview with him where, he said that he almost, lost his record deal because of a drug problem he was going through, and he was going through some personal stuff. So, and he also said that this album was recorded both during and after the drug problem was a thing in his life. There are a lot of good songs on this one. For the Squad, which the one thing that bothers me about this album is that some of the spelling is on this. It's the OCD on me. Some of the spelling's different. For the Squad, it's spelled 4RDA SQUAW. It's saying for the squad, but it's spelled differently. But it's a great song either way. But Free Lunch, the song that's right after that, is really the whole main idea and the mission statement about that. Sometimes I look at albums as an essay or some type of article I'm reading, and I want to look at the main idea and see what I'm going to be getting myself into. And Free Lunch was definitely a great topic sentence, if you will, seeing as how it was the first single that was released before this album came out. In this album, I see a lot of To Pimp a Butterfly influence. A lot of cool instrumentation in this. Not live instrumentation, because we'll get to some of the beat selection. My beat selection opinion. But I just feel like he listened to a lot. I feel like he listened to a lot of Kendrick in this during the process of making this album, which I guarantee you, I think if I was there, it would have been amazing to see, because I feel like Isaiah Rashad's so talented. The song Rope / Rose Gold, I think Rope is featuring a new TDE. At the time, he wasn't signed to TDE, but new TDE signee Sir. It's a dark way to address suicidal thoughts. He's talking about how he loves this rope, and but there's like this tambourine clap kind of thing that's going in the background that I'm just like, he's kind of happy about this. Like it's a very dark way. Like that's like, Ring Around the Rosie. I look at Ring Around the Rosie completely different. Like after I figured out that Ring Around the Rosie was about the Black Plague, I was like, that's dark as shit. Like I don't want to be, associating myself with that. That's why I stopped singing. I stopped singing that around like the 4th grade when I heard it was about the Black Plague. But I am a fan of the transition from Rope to Rose Gold. Lights, they shine like 1999. Yeah, and it goes from something where he's talking about suicidal thoughts, that rope, and Rose Gold, which I'm guessing is about his first chain that he bought, or first piece of jewelry that he bought, that came with his music career. Because that's what you have to do when you're a rapper. You got to buy your first chain. Personally, if I was a rapper, which I've released music before. Look me up on SoundCloud, H Foreman23. I'm not a chain person, so I kind of didn't connect with this song as much as I would. I'd definitely buy like a rose gold watch or like a rose gold bracelet or a ring or something, but I'm not a chain person. That's just who I am. So I couldn't really, relate to this song as much as I did. But there's a lot of stuff that you can relate to this. If you didn't expect What's Wrong, which is the song featuring Zakari and Kendrick Lamar, if you didn't expect that song to sound like it, or excuse me, let me read what I have in my notes here. If you didn't expect What's Wrong to sound the way it does, then you aren't a real TDE fan. That's what I have, and I think I stand by that statement. Because when Isaiah Rashad signed to TDE, every underground fan was like, what is he gonna do with Kendrick? When is he gonna jump on a track with Kendrick? Because we've already heard him with SZA, which I'll get to their dynamic as a duo. Oh my god. We've heard him on a Shot You Down remix with J-Rock and Schoolboy Q. J-Rock's even featured on this album, but we wanted to hear what he was going to do with Kendrick. And I think this was a true, not hit, and hit in the meaning of, they really, they were very on point with this one. I feel like the execution was perfect. What's Wrong is a true highlight of the entire album, and I wasn't a fan at first of Isaiah Rashad's first verse, but then when he came back with the second verse right after Kendrick and him switching up the flow and that second verse just being about how he will never mess up again, he doesn't want his fans to give up on him. And I think he was talking to Top Dog, the head of TDE, when he was talking to him about this. I feel like, he definitely bared his soul on that one. I could hear the emotion in that one. He said, beat me down and beat me down, reorganize my face. Now, when I go home, I don't know what my fam gonna say. The second verse literally is my favorite verse of the whole entire album. Seriously. Until we get down to the very last track, which I will address. Each song is really just is actually really structured differently than the last. I mean, Rose Gold and Rope was just kind of like a verse and a hook, but then when Rose Gold came on, there was a lot of bridges and a lot of small verses and pre-hooks and hooks and all that stuff. And then we get to Park, which to me was just that one track that you wanted to just be so disrespectful and so braggadocious, and you just wanted to just talk your shit. You wanted to be like, listen, you disrespect me, I'ma fuck you up. That's how I felt when I felt this. I felt like Isaiah was telling me, Isaiah told me, he was like, listen, people are talking about pissing on your grave. Talking about that's disrespectful. I will piss on your family. That's exactly what he says in the song. And I felt that he was on his, savage kind of, on his savage tip. I felt like he was just like, yo, fuck everybody. If you disrespect me, you getting fucked up. Real shit. B-Day, featuring Deacon Blues and Carrie Foe, was just a tale about Rashad's emotions on his 25th birthday. And I feel like he was zanned out when he made this song. He was definitely on the Xannies. This was during the drug addiction when he was doing this. And I also, for this next piece, I believe was Silk to Shaka, which is, I slept on this song during this album, and I've listened to this album front to back about a good 3 or 4 times, and every time I heard it, Silk to Shaka got better to me. And I got a quote here from Genius, the lyrical, analytical music website where they analyze and annotate lyrics. They said that similar to West Savannah off of Sylvia Demo, Rashad shares a poetic description of how much his lover means to him. Both tracks depict a young troubled couple who care deeply about each other. Rashad has a son with his longtime girlfriend, and it's possible this track is about her. The song title also pays homage to New Orleans rap veteran Silk the Shaka, and part of his third verse interpolates the "If I Don't Got a" track. And when the craziest thing is about this is that this features Sid from the internet, which everybody loves Sid. If you're an Odd Future fan, if you're a fan of the internet, you say you love Sid, because I do too. I'm a huge fan of I love the internet. Damn, I can't think of the song that they did, but it's fantastic. And it's also produced by Steve Lacy, and Steve Lacy's part of the internet. So I would love to see like a live acoustic version with like TDE members in the internet. That would be dope as fuck. I'd definitely go watch that. As we move on throughout the tracks, Titty and Dollar, which is Play a Circle. This references to Play a Circle, which was 2 Chainz's, when 2 Chainz was Titty Boy before he changed his name. Because the reason 2 Chainz changed his name from Titty Boy to 2 Chainz was he was gonna break off into that mainstream world, and he's done a very great job at it. Now, this song is just a braggadocious track, and I think that embodies what Play a Circle was all about. They were very braggadocious. As a matter of fact, if you've ever heard of the song Duffel Bag Boy, that is where Play a Circle was at. That is exactly where they at. Dollar Boy and Titty Boy. That was the group. This is a very braggadocious track featuring Q Augustine and J Rock. Also, J Rock is on TDE, and all 3 of them brag about their success at this moment. Not going too far into it, but it's enough where you understand, like, okay, they're kind of basking in their glory at this time. And the craziest thing about this is this isn't the beat that they're rapping over is not a braggadocious kind of feel beat. Like, each beat has a little bit of soul to it, and that's what I absolutely loved about this album, is that there was some type of just soulful kind of jazz nuance kind of vibe to it, and that's what I really enjoyed about this album. As we move on to AA, which is, I believe, Isaiah's first attempt at a song produced by a mainstream producer, which was Mike Will Made It, along with his member of his production team, A+. While the idea was spot on, I just don't think the execution was good. Like, he said, I want a big ass house, I want a small one, so I can rent it out and I can call you. This was when I think the Zans kind of almost wasted the talent of Isaiah Rashad. Like, I really was almost disappointed when I heard that it was going to be, when I looked at the track list and saw that it was going to be produced by Mike Will. I was like, oh, he has to go off. Like, I have to hear. Like, I'm not talking like Kendrick Lamar DNA, where he just rips apart the beat, then as soon as he changes it up, he rips it apart again. I'm talking about, like, I want Isaiah to go off, like he did on Park, but he didn't. And also, it was a switch of pace during this album, because there was a lot of kind of slow, kind of serious topic music that was going on for a couple of tracks, and then this was a good way to switch it up. And then we go back down to kind of a depressed state with AA, which I believe is an oxymoron. And AA is an oxymoron because it's a drug-filled ballad about getting help. Now, it's called AA, which is Alcoholics Anonymous. or he actually could have named it something about, rehab. Something, it's rehab. It's AA is a type of rehab. He's zanned out of his mind, and he's also talking about getting help. That's an oxymoron, I believe. I really, there's a lot of deep meaning into this song. As we get down to, the bottom, Dress Like Rappers, to me, was literally him addressing the lifestyle of an aspiring rapper with a powerhouse of a label behind him. And he talked about groupies. There was in the chorus, he talks about how you see these little white kids dressed like rappers, and he's asking them, can that make them daddies? And first of all, throughout this, I just want to say this before we get, before we wrap this up, because I'm about to wrap up the last couple of tracks. Isaiah Rashad's flows throughout this entire album are second to none. I'm a guy who, if you flow to a beat really well, you can possibly be one of my favorites. That's just my opinion. Guys like Jace from 2-9, if you haven't heard of that guy, look him up. Guys like Future, guys like Drake, guys like Big Sean, guys like Kendrick, guys like J. Cole, who really have almost mastered the art of flows, have Isaiah does a really good job of using the beats to his advantage and making the flows, making it flow so nice. That's what I liked. That's another thing on why I think that this was my favorite project of 2016. Because I know there was a lot of great music last year. I know we got Views, we got Birds in the Trap, we got Blonde, we got Awaken My Love, we got amazing music 2016. Literally everything that we wanted till that point, till 2016, that we were begging for, we got. We even got Life of Pablo, for God's sakes. So my thing is that I was like, okay, this is cool. We got all this mainstream stuff. And then I want to see, okay, what is going to be my favorite overall project? And the Sun's Tirade literally was, because it flowed it flowed perfectly. Or it flowed good. It wasn't perfectly, because I felt like some of the songs could have been sequenced a little bit better. I felt like you waited a little bit too long to switch up the pace throughout the album. And then Don't Matter, again, speaking of switching up the pace, was a very refreshing change of pace, but placed on the track. But I didn't like how it was placed on the track list, how it was, placed at the bottom. And, I felt like that was just an ode to the groupies. Through that Don't Matter was really just, he was talking about, being with this girl and him giving head, or him or her giving him head, and just Isaiah Rashad does a good job of acting ignorant, if that makes sense. Sometimes you want to hear your rapper just be ignorant. Like sometimes, I feel like Drake fans want to really hear him talk his shit. Like sometimes you want to hear J. Cole get braggadocious. You want to hear Kendrick get braggadocious. Actually, I think Kendrick gets braggadocious all the time, but he gets it in his own way to where, okay, you can't be braggadocious because you're that damn good. But and then we go to Brenda, which was about a lady that Isaiah Rashad used to mess with. Maybe it's about his baby mama, and he was just talking about, just basically it was a tale about how they used to, connect and hang out. And then when Isaiah Rashad kind of got big and left, he kind of regrets, leaving her. And then we get to By George. Don't say it was the outro. Please don't say this was the outro. Because it says it on the track list that it's the outro, but I don't believe that it's the outro. Because By George didn't feel like the outro. It just felt like a bridge to the next song that's after this, which is called Find a Topic, aka Homies Begged. And Find a Topic is really just a reference track to Silk the Shaka featuring Sid. And because at the end, Dave Free was talking about, how Rashad is saying that he has nothing to talk about, and then he was just telling him to find a topic. Now, this is like literally probably my second favorite track on this entire album, because he does what he does best, and that's just rap. Isaiah Rashad can rap, and he was not on Xans. He was not, I didn't think he was on drugs when he made this song. He was just acting like himself when it comes to the booth. Because I feel like artists are two different people. There's one that's in the booth, and then there's one that's outside of the booth. I feel like Isaiah Rashad is a very philosophical type of person. He's very hood. I can tell you that for sure. But hood enough to but smart enough to be like, okay, I don't want to do the hood shit that I used to do back in Chattanooga. But this album was just so, it was very pleasant on the ears to me. I was such a fan. I was so excited when I heard that he was dropping his debut album. I thought Smile was going to be on this. Smile being the single before Free Lunch, and I was excited when I literally played the preview to Smile like 3 or 4 times, and I was like, this is going to be crazy. If this is what his album is going to sound like, oh my god. And then Free Lunch comes out and then says, okay, this is the first single. And you're just like, whoa, okay. Huge direction change, but I still like it. And then you hear the rest of the album and you're like, wow, everything kind of complements everything. There's no song that really kind of takes the lead here. I mean, like I said, I know I said that Free Lunch was the quintessential main idea of the entire album, the mission statement, if you will. But every song kind of complements each other. Like, of course, Find a Topic complemented Silk the Shaka. That kind of, bridged that connection. I feel like the drastic pace switch, from A Lot to AA, from A Lot being a Mike Will Made It banger, braggadocious banger, Xan-filled braggadocious Mike Will Made It banger, switching to a depressing saying, listen, I need help. Like, I need help. I know what I'm doing is wrong and I need help. I forgot to review Stuck in the Mud. Jesus. Man, I should have, my apologies, people, but Stuck in the Mud should have not been like 8 minutes. Shouldn't have been 8 minutes. Matter of fact, sorry about that. It's like 7 minutes. Silk literally SZA, as I was supposed to address in this review, SZA and Isaiah Rashad do a great job of complementing one another. If you don't believe me, listen to the past 3 tracks that they did. I believe they did Warm Wind. I think that was the name of the song off of SZA's Z EP, and then the 2 songs that they did together on the Sylvia demo, which is West Savannah and Ronnie Drake. They do. I wouldn't mind listening to a SZA and Isaiah Rashad collab project. I think that would be beautiful. Matter of fact, Top Dog, make that happen. I want to hear that. I think the people want to hear that. And I'm waiting on SZA's album, because I totally fuck with the female empowerment, self-empowerment shit that she's on right now. She just came out with a single featuring Travis Scott called Love Galore, which it's so melancholy? Is that a good word to describe that? I've seen that word used before, and I've looked it up in the dictionary. I think I'm using that word right. But SZA does a great job of complementing if she's a featured artist, she does a great job of playing that role. And what I mean by that is that a featured artist is either supposed to A, compliment the rapper, or B, be at the same level. Example, SZA did a great job of complimenting Schoolboy Q on Never Change off of the Blank Face LP. If you haven't listened to that song, I urge you, because she, I think, is one of her best choruses. She has beautiful vocals. She has a beautiful singing voice too. And then another example of staying on the same level is Eminem and Kendrick Lamar's Love Game off of the Marshall Mathers LP 2, which they just lyrically slaughter that track. Literally, they talk about their exes and shit, and I think it was amazing because K Dot has this. I think, okay, I'm gonna call Kendrick Lamar the Black Eminem, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say why. He's got bars, and K Dot can make you laugh too. K Dot has this thing where a separate character comes out. It's like Eminem and Slim Shady, because we all know Slim Shady will make you laugh, but when Eminem will definitely bar you the fuck out. I guess you can call K Dot that second, alter ego, maybe Cornrow Kenny, Kung Fu Kenny, whatever you want to call him. That's what I make the comparison to, because and I'm sorry if I'm getting tangent on here, if I'm going on a tangent here and getting off topic, but definitely I give this a 9.5, only because I feel like Stuck in the Mud should have been shortened to the actual, it was like a 3-minute, 4-minute song, then a break happens, and then just some useless, unnecessary BS comes afterward that I wasn't necessarily a fan of. And then I just feel like A Lot and Don't Matter should have been at different spots on the track listing to change the pace of the entire album. But definitely a 9.5. Definitely still one of, if not my favorite project from 2016. I urge you guys to check it out. Matter of fact, check out all Top Dog Entertainment's music. They got Kendrick, Schoolboy Q, Absol, J-Rock, Isaiah Rashad, SZA, Sir, Lance Skywalker. And Sir, SIR, S, or capital S, lowercase I, uppercase R. I definitely urge you guys to go listen to his Her2, HERTOO EP. It's available on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere. He's very talented, very, especially the song with King Mez and Anderson .Paak, which I'm begging King Mez to drop an album, please. I've heard your mixtape already 3 times, and I've heard all the stuff that you did with Dr. Dre off of Compton, which I was thinking about reviewing. Let me know if you guys want me to review that, if you ever heard that. It's Dr. Dre's very last album. But I want you guys to understand this, on why I'm so passionate about this stuff. Hip-hop is literally my best friend. Literally. Shout out to the people. I mean, no disrespect to the people that are there for me 24/7 and that call me to check up on me, some of the times, and people who I talk to on a regular basis. But literally, hip hop is my best friend, and the reason I say that is because it's literally there when I need it. Whenever I'm in a rut, whenever I'm feeling bad, whenever I'm feeling sad, maybe I'm happy, and I just want to just increase the betterness of my mood. Hip-hop is there for me. Whether I want to listen to Wu-Tang, or I want to go completely left and listen to some cloud rap, maybe I want to listen to some Lil Uzi, some Yachty, maybe some Kodak. I've changed my opinion about Kodak because of his Painting Pictures album, which is incredible. I just love this stuff. And I know some of you people will be like, you don't gravitate towards it, and that's fine. That's okay. You don't have to love it. But if you are going to listen to this channel, at least appreciate the fact, at least appreciate the love I have for it. Appreciate the compassion and the admiration I have for this stuff, because it's really a huge part of my life. If it wasn't for hip hop, I wouldn't be doing any of the stuff that I'm doing right now. It gave me courage. Matter of fact, let me tell you. Before I wrap this up, it's about 30 minutes. I'm gonna explain to you what hip hop has done for me. Joey Badass made me, find inner peace in myself. He helped me find that Hunter that's supposed to come out and be this guy who isn't the most talkative person, which I've definitely toned down. I used to be a very talkative person. You're saying you don't say, the dude who's talking to a microphone on a podcast about some hip hop, totally. And he was talking for almost 30 minutes straight. Currency made me appreciate driving with music. You feel so much better when you're just driving, listening to your own music. Whether it's rock, whether it's country, you appreciate that drive time. Sometimes you want to take the long way home just to enjoy some more, as I sometimes do that. Dom Kennedy helped me change my perspective on girls, man. Real shit. Dom literally, okay, I'm not gonna just tell my secrets. What secrets do I have to fucking tell? Anyways, Dom helped me just understand, like, yo, when it comes to these girls, you gotta be you, but you turn down a couple notches. Be chill. You ain't gotta do all this extra shit. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be outlandish. You can't be making out crazy claims. You can't, be stunting on them. Just be cool. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be just treat them regular. I think that's what they want. They don't want to be treated like an angel right off the bat. If they do, they got some entitlement issues. And then Isaiah tells me it's all right to turn up a little bit in a soulful way. Oh, and appreciate family values, of course. Kendrick told me that too. Wu-Tang was definitely taught me about brotherhood and keeping your homies close. I've learned a lot from hip-hop. And I hope you guys learned a lot from music too. Because music is art, and you can learn anything from art. And this concludes the second album review / hip-hop appreciation kind of rant that I just did there. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I've influenced you to go listen to a couple of songs off of this album, or the whole album. If I've influenced you to listen to the whole album, I did what I was supposed to do. Don't matter how many views this gets. Let me know what you guys think I should review next. I do not care what genre it is. If 14 people are telling me to go listen to this country album that they think is amazing, send it to me, and I will definitely give you my honest opinion. Just because I listen to rap does not mean I'm open to listening to anything else. Really, I just gravitate towards rap more. That's just who I am. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely more album reviews coming. I feel like this is very fun for me, and I hope I've maybe you've heard this record already, and you didn't see some of the stuff that I said. So I hope maybe that's different. Flight 96 is not canceled. For those of you are worrying. It's just timing issues. That's all it is. It's just scheduling issues, and I hope to get people back on the show It's not canceled. It's something that I'm still passionate for, and it sucks that I can't get episodes to people who want to listen to this because it's because people don't want to live up to the end of their word and not show up. That's just what it is. So yeah. Well, that left on a sour note. But anyways, y'all know the slogan. One love.